Platform migration. I know, it sounds super technical, right? Maybe even a little daunting. But what if I told you it's one of the most powerful strategic moves your business can make? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this whole process. We'll see why it's not just about fixing what's broken, but about building a rock-solid foundation for future growth.
All right, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We're breaking it down into 4 key questions. First up, the why. Like, what are the real game-changing advantages we're talking about? Then we'll hit the when, the warning signs that tell you it's time for a change. After that, we'll walk through the how, your step-by-step roadmap for a smooth transition. And finally, we'll face the hurdles, the common challenges, and, more importantly, how to get past them.
So let's dive right in with the big question, why on earth would you go through all this trouble? Well, in today's digital-first world, if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. This isn't just routine maintenance. Think of it as a strategic power-up for your entire business, a way to get that competitive edge, boost efficiency, and just unlock a whole new level of performance.
Let's break that down. A great migration opens up a whole new world of possibilities. You're unlocking features your old system couldn't even dream of. You're finally getting all your different tools to talk to each other seamlessly. And maybe most importantly, you're building a system that can actually grow with you, instead of holding you back. Plus, you get to plug those nagging security holes and, believe it or not, often find some pretty serious cost savings down the line.
And get this isn't just about internal wins. A survey from Deloitte found that a whopping 80% of organizations saw a direct jump in customer satisfaction and loyalty after they switched platforms. And that makes perfect sense, right? When you give your team better tools, they can deliver a better experience for your customers. It's a win-win.
Okay, so the upsides are pretty clear, but the real question is, how do you know it's actually time to pull the trigger? Let's get into the diagnosis phase. We're going to look at the key warning signs, the symptoms that tell you your current platform has stopped being an engine for growth and has started to become an anchor.
Symptom number 1, you've hit the innovation wall. You've got all these great ideas for your business, but every time you try to implement one, your platform basically says, nope, can't do that. That is a massive red flag. Number 2, your platform just can't keep up with your own success. You're growing, you've got more users, more data, but the system is creaking and groaning under the pressure. That's a bottleneck you just can't afford.
All right, symptom 3 is what I call the disconnect. Your essential tools, your apps, they don't talk to each other. This creates these isolated islands of data and forces your team to do a ton of manual, inefficient work just to connect the dots.
Number 4 is a tough one. Your vendor is dropping the ball. Maybe they've stopped rolling out updates, their support is terrible, or worse, they've announced the platform is reaching its end of life. You're basically left stranded.
Oh, and this one is huge. Number 5, growing security worries. An older platform is almost always a more vulnerable one, and that's putting your business, your reputation, and your customers' data on the line.
And hey, let's not forget your own team. Symptom number 6 is a terrible user experience. If your platform is clunky, slow, and just plain frustrating to use, it's draining morale and absolutely killing productivity.
And last but not least, symptom 7, just follow the money. If you're spending a fortune on licensing fees, patches, and constant maintenance just to keep an old system alive, it's officially become a financial liability, not an asset.
Okay, so you've seen the signs, you've diagnosed the problem, and you've decided it's time for a change. So, what now? Well, this is where having a clear strategy is everything. A successful migration doesn't happen by accident. It's all about having a solid, proven roadmap to minimize the chaos and maximize the results. So here it is. This is your 6-step roadmap for a smooth migration. It's a really logical flow. You kick things off with assessment and planning. You got to know where you are to know where you're going. Then you choose the right new platform. After that, you get into the real nitty-gritty, moving your data and integrating all your systems. But you don't stop there. Testing is absolutely crucial. And finally, the step people often forget, getting your team trained and excited to actually use the new system.
Okay, let's be real for a second. A project this big is gonna have some challenges. It's not always a walk in the park. But here's the good news. For every single common problem, there's a proven solution. You just have to know what to look for. So let's get into it.
All right, let's talk about the number 1 fear for pretty much everyone, data. Will it get lost? Will it get corrupted? The solution is all in the prep work. You have to do a deep dive evaluation of your data, set up clear rules for cleaning it up and transforming it for the new system, and map out how everything is connected. No shortcuts here.
Next up, the integration puzzle.
How do you get this shiny new platform to play nice with all your other existing tools? The key is to create a detailed integration blueprint before you start building. It's like a schematic that shows exactly how everything will connect. That way, you can test every link and make sure the data flows smoothly from day one.
Okay, what if your team just doesn't have the skills for this? The knee-jerk reaction might be to hire a bunch of outside help, but a much smarter long-term play is to invest in your own people. Upskill your internal team with workshops and real, hands-on training. That way, you're not just completing a project, you're building expertise that will pay off for years.
Ah yes, the budget. This is where things can go off the rails, right? Unforeseen costs are the enemy of any big project. The solution is just disciplined, detailed planning. You need to work with advisors to create a line-by-line budget and be super careful about how you allocate your resources. It's all about controlling that financial risk from the very beginning.
This is the classic changing the tire while the car is moving problem. How do you pull this off without bringing your entire business to a halt? Well, you do it smartly. You don't just flip a switch one day. You use strategies like a phased rollout. Maybe you do the switch overnight or on a weekend, or you can even run both systems in parallel for a bit. The goal is zero disruption.
And last, but honestly, maybe the most important hurdle, people. You can have the best tech in the world, but if your team hates it, you've failed. That's why the human side of this is every bit as critical as the technical side. You've got to invest in extensive training, create helpful guides, and offer real personalized support to turn that resistance into excitement.
And that's a wrap. We've gone through the why, the when, the how, and the hurdles of platform migration. So as we close out, I want you to really think about this for your own business. Is your current platform an engine for growth, or has it become an anchor just holding you back? Thanks for joining me.